Today we're filming a single joint mouthpiece Demi lifter curb bit. As you can see, the shank comes up and is directly behind the cannons. So your pressure is going to be pulled straight back instead of coming directly below, which as you came from above would lift the bit. Now we're going to look at a few things on this. First thing we're going to do, looking at Ned's tongue, this is a smooth mouthpiece. Going back and forth, you can see very little grab. There's no saliva lubrication. All the time people are saying that the slow twists and the twisted wire are smooth enough and don't really grab the tongue. I'm pulling on this pretty good. It's really not grabbing the tongue. The other bits have completely pulled the tongue out of the mouth. So we're going to get rid of that little myth. The breakover on this bit is generally back into the tongue. It's not going to go up into the palate very much. If the horse had a really low flat palate, it's pretty much just going to be up and back. Now what you can see is that behind the cannons, the bulge, it's picking the tongue up a little bit, moving it back, going down in. It's breaking right over the bars, right at the Formosa hole. So it could get a little harsh. Now what's going to cause this bit to be a real problem are the shanks and the way they pick up. So we've got a standard 2-finger curb on this bit. Coming back, you can see the purchase actually rotates forward a little further, and the shank gets a little more parallel to the ground than if the shank was coming directly below the cannons. Now the problem with these bits is that, see, the pull pressure is not moving forward, but I can continue to increase pressure on this curb strap and dig that mouthpiece into the bit. On a regular shank, you would reach a point, a static point, to where your pull pressure on the purchase would actually prevent the bit from going forward anymore and increasing curb pressure. On these lifter bits, your purchase can stop completely, and you can see that it's rotated clear back here, and it will still do curb pressure. Now the other problem with this bit is it's a single joint, it's independent action. And the strange thing about these is if the opposite side, the left, is hanging straight down, and I pick this up, look how it torques that mouthpiece over to the bars. I mean, it's literally pulling that center joint to this bar, and as this moves forward on the curb, you can actually feel it pull this other side back. So even if you're not touching this outer rein, and I'm just holding it straight up and down now, when I pull this, it walks that joint over, and it's pulling this back. You can see that the cheek piece is now not vertical with the mouth. So independent action can be good, but too much independent action is actually going to torque that bit in the mouth, and look how that joint is now directly over the bars. And I don't think that's a good thing. And if you had a 2-piece joint, look how much that's moving the tongue. A 2-piece joint could possibly even go around the edge of the bar. So you would have to increase your curb tightness in order to prevent it from walking too far. I don't think this bit is balanced. I don't like the lifter aspect of it, and I really don't like the single joint aspect of it. It's pretty, but I wouldn't recommend its use.